Welcome everybody to the S&N Davis Brothers Roofing Cup Series. My name's Joseph Lester. I'm joined by Josh Coppernell in the booth. We are sorry for the delayed start. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're back underway, and looks like we got ourselves a good race here with Matt White leading and Alex Murray second. Alex Murray looking to make a move. Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, Matt White off to a great start with the lead here, but he's got a whole lot of Alex Murray right in his mirror. Those two have pulled away from Josh Ward, and something I've learned here is Dover, it likes to chew the tires, so these guys, they need to be careful. Josh Ward actually might be in the better position right here, just watching these guys go at it. Maybe able to jump a little bit later on in the race to collect the lead from these guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. And these guys up front are really pushing their tires, it seems, while some of the guys towards the back might not be. But looks like we got our first caution. Let's go back and look and see what happened. So it looked like, oh, Jeremy Miller. That is the big one here, folks.
I think it's one of those cases, Joseph, where it's easier to tell you who wasn't involved in the accident than tell you who all was involved in that. That is huge. I see Nicholas Drydene back, Seba Cornez in there, Ryan Samuelson, I noticed, Chris Claude.
So, looks like he got loose, spun, that took out Ryan, Nolan, and like you said, Chris Quad. Oh gosh, some guys just didn't hit the brakes there either. Nick Breidenbach, Kevin Rourke, like you said, easier to name the guys who weren't in it than who were in it. But, I mean, man, we saw the same thing happen at Martinsville the last time I was here. Let's see. That was a couple weeks ago, wasn't it? I missed 2 weeks, so yeah. Man, we saw that into 3 and 4, but not quite this early.
Yeah, that was huge, and it was just one guy getting around on the nose of somebody else, causing that entire wreck that we just saw. Tons and tons of cars down pit road right now.
Yeah, let's go ahead and name it what we think are the guys that were in it. These are just looking at pit road. Chris Quad, Brian Tarnowski, Alex Princeton, Dalton Mobley, Randy Spivey, Bob Nestor, Marty Roberts, Seba Cornez, Jeff Carson, I do not believe was in it, Dakota Cave, Jeremy Miller, Ryan Samuelson, Chad Sander, Nolan Hodgson, Nick Breidenbach, and Kristen Stewart. That's over half the field. I don't know. That was insane.
You know, for some of those guys, it could open up the door for some drivers to get a good finish position from what they are used to, because they weren't involved in that. But that was huge. I was not expecting that right off the bat.
I wasn't expecting it at all, honestly. Man, it seems like this league continues to surprise us every week we are out here with the twists and turns of these guys battling.
And honestly, Joseph, it's not a bad idea for a lot of these guys that were involved in that wreck to just stay in it. I mean, that was half the field, so you're not going to just automatically get a bad finishing position unless if you don't even try to turn any more laps. So for those that were involved in that wreck, bring it down pit road, have the crew massage it down a little bit, and go out there, turn some more laps, gain positions.
Oh yeah,
try to
sure.
race it out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those guys that got wrecked are guys that run out front, because that wreck was in the front. Man, that was a massive wreck. Chris Claude was involved in that wreck, and he's still in 14th. That just shows you how many cars were in it.
Yeah, I definitely never would have saw that coming at all. Dover, they say it is a self-cleaning racetrack. I think Miles was a little bit too hungry there, if you ask me. I think he was starving and wanted dessert right off the bat.
Well, you mentioned how Dover, it's self-cleaning, but I mean, man, it's a scary track to race at, and it can snap at the turn of a whistle, just like we saw. But Matt White is leading, Alex Murray second, third Josh Ward, fourth Ryan Decker, fifth Joe Stafford, sixth Raymond Root, seventh Charles Eaton, eighth Kavaja Holt, ninth Kevin Rourke, 10th Dave Regal. Now we're about to go back green, and here we go. The green flag is out, and Matt White will lead him to the green. Alex Murray will duck in behind, but Josh Ward has something to say about second. And I say that, and Alex Murray just gassed it into 1 and 2.
It was a great restart out of Murray to hold on to second place. White got out to a great jump there. Make sure that Murray wasn't right on his bumper like he was off the race. But Murray is coming.
He is, and only 2/10 back. 10 laps into the race. We did see a quick caution. So tires haven't seen that much wear on them. But I wonder how this race is going to play out as we do get through the tire wear.
I think if this does stay green for longer periods of times, tire wear is going to be a huge factor tonight. And, you know, if we do see green flag pit stops, that is going to be chaotic for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, it really is. Something I'd like to point out is this top three, they're all affiliated in some way, and 4 of the top 5, the lone outstander in the top 5 that's not affiliated with each other, are Joe Stafford, and they were teammates last season.
Yeah, they've got a lot of connections with each other. We got another caution, though, Joseph.
Let's see what happened. Oh, looks like Jarrett Small got loose, spun it around, and I'm not sure who that was. That might have been Randy Spivey right behind him. It was unfortunate for him. He's had a good season so far.
So for these guys up front, they have an opportunity once again to catch their breath, slow it down a little bit, let their tires cool down.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how many sets of tires there are in this race. You probably do because you did run an NIS this week. How many sets of tires are there?
If it is based off NIS, it would be 6 in the pit, so 7 total. So if you go based off the 6 in the pits to, you know, save a set at the end, kind of do the math there, it's about 33 laps these guys would want to run on a set of tires.
Yeah, so you might see some pitters, here maybe try to gamble here in the coming laps, but, I think we saw Ryan Samuelson in the broadcast waiting room. Let's pull him in. Hey Ryan, we saw you in the broadcast waiting room, and you were caught up in that rack up lap 3 or 4. What do you think happened there?
I I don't know. Like, I know our SEP for all the drivers been a little bit tricky, but it's been fast as hell if you get going. And so you just have to like catch at the end, and that's what happened to Jeremy, I think. Um, just didn't let the SEP come to him and end up wrecking me and half the field. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, this damn good favorite track of mine, and I like the track. The track doesn't like me. It sucks to get killed in lap 4. I felt like maybe we would have had a shot for it if we had like some runs and stuff like that, but we'll never know.
Yeah, I definitely had you as one of my favorites to win because you did win here last season. Um, well, we'll let you get back to your team, but it's unfortunate you got caught up in that so early.
Yeah, our night's done.
That was Ryan Samuelson in the 81 Chevrolet. Unfortunate that he got caught up in that, but man, if it makes him feel any better, like he said, there were like half the field in that too, so he wasn't the only one.
Yeah, and you hear the frustration in his voice. You know, you never want to wreck. You never want to wreck early either. If you are going to wreck, and frustration is there. He knows that he had a fast car, and I think, you know, from personal experience, it hurts when you see teammates running up there. Murray, um, Root, you know, just a couple of drivers there. See them running up there and knowing that you're in the garage, it just kind of hurts.
Yeah, I mean, in real life, I'm sure the guys caught up in that wreck would just go to the hauler and pack up and leave, get to their private airplane, and go back to Charlotte. But on iRacing, you can do basically the same thing. You just alt F4, so you hit. It's just there's a lot of similarities to real life to iRacing, except you don't get to feel the hurt. You don't get injured in iRacing.
I'll before we go green, see a few people in YouTube chat. Rebecca Miller cheering for Dakota. VRG Hyper cheering for Chris, and Jessica Wood cheering for Decker. Want to know who you're cheering for, and we'll give you a shout out as well. But Joseph, I think we're getting ready to go back green.
I believe so, and let's get him rolling. Barney the Flagman holding that green flag, ready to start waving it. Here we go. This is S&N green flag.
Another great start out of Matt White there, trying to pull away from Alex Murray. And side-by-side battle out of Josh Ward, Joe Stafford. He might have gotten a little bit too close for comfort, stayed off of each other. Stafford on the outside, though, trying to hang on.
Yeah, these guys are side-by-side, more side-by-side than I really expected we'd see, because it's been a single-lane track this whole week. But hey, if he can make it work, he's the champion of the series for a reason.
Battle for the lead is close, Joseph. Murray is there. He wants it. He is stalking Matt White, just looking for a little bobble out of the 56.
This is the closest we've seen anybody to Matt White today. Can he be stopped as he's led the first 20 laps? I don't know, but Alex Murray has proven that he's one of the faster guys in this league.
Yeah, already won multiple times here in 2022. White, he wants a chance at a win.
And we got a battle back here for the 7th position. Austin Story trying to get around Kavaja Holt. Something to mention, Austin's story, battling a little sickness. Not really feeling the best this week, and just prayers out to him. But, I mean, he's fighting through it, and he's getting a pretty good run here today.
You know, sometimes
Whoa!
they say...
I think Alex Murray might have tagged the wall.
Pretty interesting there. Might have been trying a little bit too hard to get around White.
And Joe Stafford just lurking in the background. Always one of those guys that might not have the best speed, but when it comes to the end of the day, he's there at the end and he'll make you pay. And
Stafford.
right there, he just passed Alex Murray. That just shows how fast he is here tonight.
I don't really, I mean, we can't see the right side of Murphy's car, but I don't see really any damage from this angle. But if anything, if he did get a little bit too close to comfort, Alex Murray may just kind of be taking it easy. Long race.
Austin Story on the move. He's making another pass here. He's on the inside of our pole sitter, or not pole sitter, our 5th place position starter, Ryan Decker.
And Austin Story started in 33rd position.
Well, I mean, it's pretty easy to gain that many positions when half the field are X. Man. But this is a good side-by-side battle here for 6th place. He'll finally get clear of him. Oh, a big wiggle out of the 23 of Austin Story. Man, that could have been bad.
I was going to say just a few minutes ago, though, Joseph, that, you know, they say a lot of times when you are driving sick, kind of feeling under the weather, sometimes it's not a bad idea because you're not really pushing the car, which could save tires. And we've already talked about how important tires are at this track, and it's just going to continue to be something that I'm sure we talk about the rest of the race, as this concrete surface is not nice to those Goodyear tires.
This Goodyear surface, or not, this track concrete is not happy with anybody, and it doesn't like anybody, even the tires.
Yeah, we've already seen Miles has already eaten probably breakfast and had some dessert as well. There's still a lot of race left. See if Miles reaches out and grabs anybody else.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, caution's
Another
out.
caution.
I believe it's Lauren Jones. Let's see what happened here. Oh, we've seen that be the trouble spot all night. And Randy Spivey involved. Not sure who the other driver was, but man, that was some pretty big contact. Now, do you come down pit for tires here?
I think so. About 30 laps, which is roughly where I said you want to be at on your set of tires. And you'll still have a set at the end. You know, about 33 laps. We're here at 31. So I think everybody comes into pits here.
Well, let's see. And I believe you're right, because everybody is taking that hard left turn onto pit road.
Expect all these drivers to take 4 fuel. I don't expect anybody to try to take 2 tires. Maybe all night. I don't expect anybody to take 2 or no tires all night.
Well, right
4
sides are
tires to
jacked
go.
up on the 57 of Joe Stafford. We saw Josh Ward slide through his pit box and had to reverse into it. That could cost him some time and positions. Joe Stafford is out of pit road, and he is off and beat Alex Murray out. Let's see where Josh Ward comes out. Oh, man. he got beat out by Austin Story, so that's another position gained by Austin Story that just makes his climb to the front all that much better. And I'm gonna give him a hard time because we are buddies. He definitely didn't have Bubba Wallace's real life pit crew there.
We do have a couple of drivers that did stay out on the track. I believe Dalton Mobley did come excuse me, Dalton Mobley did come down pit road, so that leaves Seba Cornez out there as the only driver that did not come down. Looks like Seba did come down about 28 laps ago.
So about lap 5, he was in that first caution, so he might not have even taken tires at that point.
And if he did take tires, I don't blame him for staying out here. He's not going to have the advantage, and I'm sure his tires are definitely hurt right now, but he can get himself some track position, maybe hold on and stay out there. He might be sitting in a pretty good position later on in the race.
Yeah, I definitely think that could be a possibility. But, I mean, with all these hungry, fast drivers up front, a car with damage, they're going to have to boot, scoot, and boogie around them. But I believe it is 1 to green here.
Will be 1 to green. Honestly, you know, talking about damage, Seba really doesn't have a lot of damage on his Toyota. You do see some right rear damage, some right side damage, not a ton, but really the hood, the front end of his car looks relatively clean. So I think Seba should be all right as far as damage goes, but tire-wise, you know he's at a disadvantage.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll just have to watch as this restart plays out. I'm excited. Are you guys in chat excited? Let us know. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification. Turn on notifications for not 24/7 content, but weekly content every day. Here we go. Seba Cornez will lead him to the green. And he is off and away. Man, he got a good restart, but man, 3 wide.
Joe Stafford trying to make that bottom work underneath Matt White.
Can he do it? Joe Stafford on the inside of Matt White. This is the closest battle Matt White has had all night. Joe Stafford on the inside at his quarter panel. He's looking still, and the caution is out.
I give big props to Seba there. He stayed in third, and he didn't fall.
Wait, that might have been Alex Murray.
Oh, man.
Alex Murray gets loose and spins it. Oh, his car is killed.
Is that Brian Tarnowski? Oh, Chris Claude as well. Alex Princeton, I believe, was involved in that as well.
Man. Well, I thought we might get another win out of Alex Murray. We didn't get that here tonight.
Well, Joseph, I don't know. There's still 164 laps to go. At this point, I'm not ruling anything out.
Man, unfortunate for him. That's crazy.
See, Seba did relinquish his third place position, coming down and getting some tires on his car, but look at Austin's Story sitting up there, third place. I don't think that sickness has slowed him down any.
No, it might be speeding him up.
And also another one, Josh Ward. He's P4 right now, so did have that issue on pit road, but right back in P4, so not bad at all.
I'm just going to go ahead and say I was not expecting this top 3 here tonight. Even top 5. This is sort of throwing it back to last season. But, I mean, next season is, or next week is Darlington. They should have waited till next week to do that because it fit with the throwback race.
Now, what happened to Matt White? He's sitting in 13th.
Oh, true. Looks like he just pitted. Oh, he had damage.
Man, that is unfortunate for Matt White.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm not seeing it. Oh, here we go. Oh, he had damage before. Huh. Well, either way, we are back up front with Joe Stafford leading, RJ second, and Austin Story third. Not sure where he got that damage from.
See if he can recover. It didn't look like it was too bad.
No, it didn't.
Sitting 13th right now, so you know he's fast. See if Matt White can get back up to the front. K Wood says Decker. Haley says, what happened to Murray? I missed it. Murray got loose and lost it. Had some other drivers involved in that accident.
Man, yeah, like we saw, it was just unfortunate for him. Over the radio, it sounded like he was mad at Seba. I don't know what for, but we'll go back green and we'll try to get that from him maybe next week. Green flag is out, and the front two are off, or first and third are off and away, with Austin Story moving into second.
33rd to second place right now, Joseph. Austin Story, he's looking right at the rear of Joe Stafford. He wants that lead so bad, and winning is the best medicine for sure.
Oh yeah, for
Austin
sure.
Story.
We might not get the energy from him if he does win in the with his interview, but I mean, he'll certainly be excited. We're saying this, but we're only fifth into this race.
Still a long way to go, but he's got just as good of a shot as anybody else running up front. Joe Stafford currently controlling the race. And he's starting to pull away from Austin's Story ever so slightly here.
Yeah, but will that hurt him long run? We'll just have to see. This top 4 is just bringing me back to last season. I don't know what it is, but it's just bringing it. It's just bringing back memories of this top 4. We see Nolan Hodgson on that bottom lane, and unfortunate that he got caught up in the wreck when he did. But I'm glad he's back out there and he's gonna try and meet minimum speed.
I think something just happened to Dakota Cave and Lauren Jones.
Well, let's go
Not
see.
sure.
Looks like they're down pit road. Not sure what it was.
So I saw that he was rolling really slowly down the backstretch. I'm not exactly sure what happened caused that. Now it looks like Nicholas Breidenbach. Unless if Breidenbach was just coming out of pit road here.
Very odd there. But something I'd like to point out is both Austin Story and RJ Root are backing up the corner more than Joe Stafford, and then getting a better run off. It's just neat to see as they are closing in on him. But RJ Root's going to have something to say about second place as he's moving in on Austin Story and Joe Stafford.
Yeah, and right now this is what Stafford wants to see is RJ starting to battle there with Austin Story. Story came very close to getting on the apron there off of 2.
Yeah, he was awfully close to hitting him there, or hitting the apron there. Austin's gonna have to start maybe putting the bumper to Joe Stafford because RJ Root's pressuring him, and he's starting to move in on him.
These top 4 are under a blanket right now, Joseph. Stafford, he's got the position that the rest of these guys want. But it is interesting to see how everybody is driving
out.
into the... Nolan
Dave
Hodgson.
Regal was involved. Let's see what happened here to Dave Regal in his Jones Racing Setups Chevrolet. Oh, it happened a lot behind, in front of him, and he just had nowhere to go. Oh, it looked like JB Banner just came up into him, and both Nolan and Dave Regal got caught up in that. But lap 50, do you pit here? We had about a 20 lap run.
I think it's still early, a little bit too early right now.
Joe Stafford heading down pit road. RJ Root stayed out.
I think Root's kind of going with the strategy that I'm talking about here.
Ryan Decker. Seba Cornez stayed out once again. Charles Eaton. But we'll have to see who wins the race off pit road. Austin Story's already in his pit stall. He is off and away, so let's go look at Joe Stafford. He gets those right side tires jacked up onto the left rear, or the left sides. I think Austin Story might beat him out. Oh, it's going to be a great race off pit road, and Joe Stafford barely beats him out. While I believe that's Ken Ron beating both of those guys out.
Yeah, Ken, I believe, might have just taken 2 tires there. 8.4 second pit stop for Ken Ron. So I know if you're remembering anything I said earlier, is that I don't expect anybody to take 2 tires here. I'm going to kind of counter myself. With the way things are looking, this is caution number 6. I don't think 2 tires is a bad idea right now for track position, simply because of the amount of cautions we have had so far in the first fourth of this race.
Yeah.
But
We'll just have to see. I think we got RJ Root here. Josh, I think he got a copy.
hey, RJ, you got a copy?
I got you guys.
Hey, you're leading right now. Stayed out there. What's the strategy like?
Well, we didn't see the need to waste 2 sets of tires in the first 50 laps, so decided to hold on to a set. Hopefully it'll pay off in the end.
Well, the first car with some tires is in P5, and I believe he's on 2, where everybody else is on 4. So how hard is it going to be, do you think, to hang on to this lead if it does stay green for a period of time, knowing that the likes of Stafford and Story are going to be coming with those tires?
I don't think we had enough laps on these tires for it to really matter. I think by the time that they get up to me, our tires will be pretty even. So.
All right. Well, we'll let you get back to it, and maybe we'll talk to you a little bit later on.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's our race leader, RJ Root. You heard it from him. Staying out to not waste a set of tires. We do see Nolan in the broadcast waiting room. We'll pull him in once we're about 5 laps into this run, but we're going to try to get this restart done before.
I feel like the way things have kind of cycled around, it's almost like a Talladega race. You got guys coming from the back to the front, going back to about mid-pack here, a little bit to the back. It's just kind of cycling around so far. Kind of interesting to see.
Well, pace car is off, and RJ Root is off as well. Ryan Decker has gotten clear. Charles Eaton. Austin Story caught behind Ken Ron and got passed by Josh Ward because of it. Man, unfortunate for Austin there. Oh, 3 wide, Matt White! Man, I don't know if that was the smartest move, but he made it work.
He wants that lead back. That's what he wants. Oh, big stack up behind these guys. Somehow they didn't wreck. Battle for the lead heating up, though. Ryan Decker right to the back of RJ Root.
Ryan Decker definitely keeping RJ honest until Joe Stafford gets up to him with the fresh tires. And when I say Joe Stafford's closing quick, I'm saying maybe 0.2 of a lap quicker.
That's exactly what it is. Stafford, he doesn't even have to be pushing his car hard right now. That's just, I think, the tires playing a factor here. Stafford looking at the inside of Decker. Not quite there just yet. Gonna be side by side in 1. Decker runs high. That allows Stafford to get, well, real tight there on exit. They keep it off each other. Stafford with the advantage going into 3, though.
Joe Stafford is clear of Ryan Decker. Now he can set his sights on RJ Root. Let's go on board with him as we bring in Nolan Hodgson into the booth. Hey Josh, I think you got a copy on Nolan.
And Nolan, hey buddy, how you doing?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, unfortunate start to your race tonight. Being involved in a few incidents. Unfortunately, your night is done, but Walk us through that first incident from your perspective.
I saw that. I don't even remember who it was, but I saw that one car, get loose off of 2, and then come back up the track. Obviously, of course, the reaction is to turn away from the incident, and then all of a sudden there was a car in my face. So, and then I got launched back up into the wall, and the rest is history.
You're still rolling around trying to get laps under your belt. Looks like you're currently 30th. You were involved in another incident as well. What happened there?
It looked like, I went back and looked at it, and it looked like netcode, but I was giving him plenty of space, and the trajectory that he was going, it looked like he was going to hit me anyways. If I went any farther up the track, I would have hit the wall and hit him. So, I mean, there was literally nothing I could have done there. This is the second race this season that I've been wrecked out within the first, or wrecked out of contention within the first 5 laps. So it's amazing.
All right, well, unfortunate start to the race for you, but next week we have our sights set on. Oh goodness, where do we go next week?
I believe it's
Darlington. Darlington is where we go. So we'll see you at Darlington, and hopefully much better than tonight.
Yeah, I like Darlington. Hopefully we don't have the kind of stuff happen tonight that happened at Dover. So move on to Darlington and hope we don't wreck, I guess.
Well, you heard it from Nolan, just upset that his night got ended so early on, and I mean, looking forward to Darlington, he said. So I mean, it's unfortunate he got caught up in an incident, but at least he has Darlington to look forward to.
Looking forward to about Darlington is all those throwback paints.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we heard RJ Root say in his interview he didn't think these guys would be able to catch him without the tires evening out. Well, that's going back, not aging very well, as 2 guys are already in front of him, and Joe Stafford and Matt White, and Austin Story's all over his bumper in 4th.
And look at Matt White looking underneath Joe Stafford. He wants the lead. He's going to take it back.
Oh!
Right back to where he
He might have made contact there.
Oh, they were super close. I don't actually think they did, but Stafford isn't letting White get away.
And behind them, Austin Story just made the pass on RJ Root. Now Josh Ward will be looking to pass RJ.
Man, these guys, they're not giving any inch. I will say, though, for RJ, he did get caught pretty quickly. Sitting P4 at the moment, but he's not hurt too bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically back to the position he was, minus the fact that Matt White is just drove by everybody. But, I mean, great battling between these guys, but on lap 72, I think we're going to go to our first side-by-side of the night.
Davis Brothers has been providing homeowners and businesses with exceptional roofing services since 1983. From repairing roofs on small homes to installing new roofs on large commercial retailers, no job is too big or too small. Your home is an important part of your life, and your roof is an essential part of your home. We understand that. Whether you're inspecting, repairing, or replacing a roof, we'll treat your home like it's our very own. Low slope, steep slope, big or small, it doesn't matter. We do them all. And remember, we have the capabilities and the manpower to take on any size job. When it comes to your roof, it's important to be proactive. Choose an experienced roofer you can trust. At Davis Brothers Roofing, we are your experienced roofer. Contact us today for a consultation and let us earn your trust.
With the Buttkicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Buttkicker, the future is feeling.
You know that guy? The one who, just minutes before the green flag, keys up his mic and asks, "Anybody got a setup?" Well, this is him. This is Adam. And Adam needs some help. This, on the other hand, is Steve. Steve is a solid racer, and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups and to race as often as he likes. But Steve knows a secret. Steve lets our crew chiefs do the setup work so he can focus on the racing. At maturesgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 50 cars on the iRacing service, so no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Somebody really should tell Adam.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, they're wrecking!
Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, they're wrecking!
Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Welcome back, everybody. This is S&N, the Davis Brothers Roofing Cup Series, and we just saw a pass for second between Joe Stafford and Austin Story, and then RJ Root and Joe Stafford. Man, Joe Stafford dropping like a rock.
Yeah, RJ Root just getting by Joe Stafford. We saw there under that commercial break, Stafford got super loose. Did a surprising save, and that allowed Story and Root to catch Stafford.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been a crazy race so far, and Joe Stafford coming right back at RJ Root, not letting him go anywhere. Oh!
Just had...
Oh!
Oh, man.
Maybe
That was great
contact
awareness
between RJ Root and Joe Stafford, as RJ Root got caught behind the lap car, and Joe had no idea that that lap car was there.
That was great awareness, though. There was contact. We did see that. But that was great awareness. How those drivers not make it worse than what did happen. See a little bit of front end and rear end damage out of RJ Root. Not a ton, but see how much that affects him.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's Matt White and then the rest of the field. And RJ with the damage, that's just going to hurt him even more. Unfortunate for him, but we've seen when things get rough, he's able to rebound. So we've been hearing about an 80-lap fuel run. What do you think? Who's going to pit first, and will they go with a two-stop strategy? Oh! Joe Stafford, he's a drifter. But man, I don't think you're supposed to be drifting out at Dover Motor Speedway.
No, not at all. That was another great save out of Joe. He is absolutely driving the wheels off that car right now. He just needs to settle in, regroup, let the tires cool off just a little bit, and try again. But to answer your question, I think Root is going to be the first one to come down pit road because, of course, he did stay out a little bit or under that last caution that we had. So I think RJ Root is going to be the one that leads him down pit road.
Yeah, RJ hasn't pitted since lap 31. The rest of the field pitted at lap 51. So a 20-lap difference on tires, and you're seeing that's coming into play.
A lot of those laps were run under caution. There still was a lot of hard green flag laps on those tires.
And RJ Root just got in the marbles, and will he be... Oh, man, every time Joe Stafford gets under RJ Root, he just gets wicked loose.
Joe Stafford, though, he, once again, getting loose. Stafford, I think he deserves save of the night, second save of the night, third save of the night. We can keep going.
We sure can, and that just shows what drifting on Assetto Corsa, it helps car control on iRacing.
You know, I don't really know anything about Assetto Corsa myself, but I do know that, you know, if you spend a lot of time wrecking, you're going to learn eventually how to save the car. Unfortunately, I know that from experience in iRacing. So I'm sure, you know, if Assetto Corsa, he can use anything he's learned from there in drifting, that's probably helping him a ton right now in iRacing.
Oh yeah, for sure, and that was a self-burn if I've ever heard one. Ah, man. It's usually me throwing those burns out at you, not the other, or not you throwing them at yourself.
Well, sometimes you gotta laugh at yourself a little bit, Joseph, but maybe that's why I'm in the booth tonight. Not out there on the track, but These guys, they're doing a great job. This longest run we've had tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just going through the field, that RJ Root, Joe Stafford battle. Oh, we got a caution. I saw it. It's Ryan Decker. Nope, it's not Ryan Decker. Not sure what that was. I'm not seeing it on SDK.
I could have swore it was Ryan Decker as well. It's like his car.
Oh, it might have been. Ryan Decker just gets loose, and yep, it was him. I was in a race last night, and that definitely was not called a caution, so... Man, iRacing just showing that they're inconsistent on throwing cautions.
Very unfortunate for Ryan Decker. At halfway now.
And everybody's
I
going
know-
down pit road.
Yeah, everybody. I expect everybody to pit here. But Ryan Decker had a few fans out in chat.
Caitlin Groves says, sorry I'm late. Come on, Decker. We see Matt White come down pit road, hit that first pit stall. Will he be the first one out? I believe he will, but we'll just have to see. Does his pit crew make a mistake? It doesn't look like he does. His pit crew is money right there, as he comes out first, Austin Story second, RJ Root third, and Joe Stafford fourth. Kavaja Holt comes out fifth, sixth, Seba Cornez seventh, will be
Princeton?
Alex Princeton.
I like that scheme he's running tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure. The best friends. Alex Bowman scheme, I think.
It is an Alex Bowman scheme, yes. Nice animal themed scheme. I know I've got a few animals myself, 3 cats, dog, and just got 2 fish today.
Yeah, I mean, dogs, I know from experience, can definitely be a lot to wrangle. I got a lab and a Boston Terrier. The lab's a little bit rougher, but the Boston Terrier just runs away and you can't catch her. She's so fast.
We have a pit bull. She is going to be 10 years old here at the end of the month. She is just the sweetest dog ever. So love to our furry friends, but unfortunately, damage on Princeton's car. But he's still running pretty good. Currently P7 on the board.
He is, and just gotta continue the hard work. He was caught up in the lap 1 wreck. But man, great rebound to this point. But we're about to go green flag once again, as we're on our 6th caution of the night.
This is the 7th caution, I believe, Joseph.
That is odd. The SDK and the leaderboard you guys at home are seeing says 6th caution of the night, but we'll just have to see. we love hearing about your animals in chat. Drop down below what your dog's names or any animal's names are. We see Kay Wood say she has a Boston Terrier French Bulldog mix. But we're going green once again as Matt White takes off and... Oh! Austin Story got a big wiggle. Did he just spin his tires, you think?
I'm not exactly sure.
That seemed a little late to have tire spin.
I'm not... Oh! Something happened with Root.
Matt...
Root got super loose.
No, that was
sorry,
Matt
that's
White.
not Root. That's Matt White. Root
That was
takes
our
the lead.
leader.
He's beneficiary.
And Joe Stafford going on the outside. It looks like Austin Story's just going to let him by as Austin Story knows he has a better long run vehicle than Joe Stafford. Matt White only fell back to 5th, so even though he's on the same tires as them, that big wiggle, will it affect him? Or will he be able to get back up there?
For Matt White, who just got by Kavaja Holt, White needs to just kind of let tires cool down a little bit, not abuse them, because I'm sure they're hot after that little bobble there.
Oh, Kavaja Holt in the wall!
Great job out of Kavaja Holt not to loop it around.
Let's go look back at this. You see him going through this corner. Kavaja Holt is. And oh, it looks like Josh Ward just got tight and moved up into him. But man, Kavaja continues to fall down the order. He is pitting in to fix the damage. Unfortunate there. But we got a battle for the lead between Joe Stafford and RJ Root.
Stafford is on his shit. He knows White had a mistake. Stafford wants to get out there in front of Root and
oh, here we go! Joe Stafford on the inside, RJ Root on the outside. Joe Stafford will get clear of RJ Root. RJ Root gonna try the crossover. He's not able to do it, and new leader, number 57.
a great job out of Stafford to get past Root there. As I was saying, White is coming back up through the field after making that mistake. Currently P4.
Closing in on Austin Story.
So it's only going to be a matter of time before Matt White gets back up there, Joseph. So for Joe Stafford, he needs that lead. He needs that clean air. And try to get a good gap.
Austin Story trying to get the good run off. RJ Root got really loose on exit of turn 2. Man, oh man. But great battle between the top 4 all night long, and if these guys can make Matt White burn up their tires, burn up his tires, that's what they're going to try to do. Because he is on another level once they get some green flag laps.
Matt White trying to look to the outside of Austin Story. I think White got a little late entry into the corner there. Looked like Story kind of slowed down a little bit too early from what White wanted to see. That forced White to go to the outside, but didn't make a move. Close it in, though. Now looking a little bit to the bottom. Still not making a move.
I'm seeing out of Austin Story running a higher line through 1 and 2 than anybody else. But he gets a good run off, which I'm not seeing anybody else do like he does. He's gonna try to make a move on RJ Root. He's looking, but has to back out of it as RJ just had just enough not to for Austin to send it in there and hope it sticks.
Yeah, they're all doing a great job right here. Second, third, and fourth. White, great exit off of 4. Big run down the front stretch. Now he's inside.
Oh, Austin Story got loose.
Bobbles. Yeah.
And Matt White takes it.
Great pass there by White. Executed that very well.
Matt White gonna go right past RJ Root. Definitely a little bit of team orders there, I think, because RJ wasn't moving for Austin, but he just kind of moved right out of the way for Matt White there. Matt White gonna try to set sail on Joe Stafford now. You think he can catch him?
He can catch him, absolutely. It's just going to be a matter of how much it's going to hurt his tires doing so, or how much is Stafford hurting his tires trying to pull away from these guys. Stafford loose off the exit of 2, though. Another great save.
Is that looseness coming back that we saw Joe Stafford have in that last long green flag run? Is that starting to come back to him?
Yeah, I think Stafford, he's got a long run car. He's just struggling a little bit, trying to keep it under him the best way he possibly can. Here's a little bit of a throttle blip there towards the exit of turn 4 and turn 2. Someone hard in the wall of back. It's the 92, I believe.
I believe it was the 92 with JB Banner, like you said. Because, man, he was getting lapped, and then all of a sudden we saw him go straight down to the wall. Matt White has called up to the back bumper of Joe Stafford. Joe Stafford has a 2/10 lead over Matt White, but how long will that be there as Matt White is moving? Matt White running a higher line through the center of the corner to arc it back down and get the good run off. That's the product of a good handling race car when you can do that. That's the line Dover wants you to run. It's just a matter, does the car want you to run it?
Yeah, you see Joe Stafford rather just trying to search around, try to find some grip, find a good groove.
Oh, and as you mentioned grip, you mentioned grip, I gotta say it's the broadcast. Oh, cautions out Josh Ward. Let's see what happened here. It looks like he got loose and just spun it around. Oh!
65. Who is that? That's
Brandon Kluge. Let's watch it from his in-car camera, because I know he had nowhere to go. Yeah, it's just so hard to see around these corners, and without a live spotter, you can't really do anything about that.
buddy pitting in.
Austin Story first in the box. Where will he get out? That right side is jacked up. Left side's, the guys are moving around. They're off and he's going. Now, does that 2311 does his 2311 pit crew get him out fast enough? Does he gain a couple positions? No. but he didn't lose any, so it's not like the real life 2311 pit crew. At least he maintained his spot.
I know Austin is gonna love you after this broadcast. We're talking about that, but in all seriousness, Seba Cornez, he came in 5th, he exited 5th. Seba is doing a great job currently, and you know, the strategy he was doing, I may have questioned a little bit, but at the same time, I was thinking, okay, you know, I like what he's doing. He's doing a great job so far. He's got an opportunity to walk out with a top 5 finish.
He sure does, and I mean, that'd be a great run for considering where it started with the lap 1 wreck.
Again, he doesn't have a lot of damage on his car. He was hanging up pretty well with the leaders when he had restarted from the lead and did lose the position. He was still hanging with them pretty well. It was a short run. We were only green like 4 or 5 laps, but he was still right there. He didn't fall off like a rock like I kind of expected him to, but doing a great job. I think playing out the strategy pretty well.
Yeah, I think so, but I think you got a copy on Matt White, our race leader.
Hey, Matt White, it's Josh up at the booth. You got a copy?
Got you 10-4. How you doing, Josh?
You got a rocket tonight.
Yeah.
What is it like just driving through the field and now currently back with the lead?
It's just go 1 speed and that's fast. I mean, that's what I wanted to do this week is just get this thing dialed in for tonight's race. I mean, it has literally been rails even after being stuffed in the fence. So, I mean, it's just been going, gone.
Has tire wear been any of a factor for you, or how have you been trying to save that?
I mean, honestly, the tire wear there on that last 20-lap run there was 93, 94. So, I mean, tire wear for me has been really minimal. It allows me to go through the corners really hard. Just the exit's super important.
All right, well, we are 1 to green and about halfway down the track, so I'll let you get back up in there with your teammate.
Sounds good, Josh. Thanks so much.
That was your race leader, Matt White of Cyclone Motorsports. Same team as Josh Ward there. Unfortunately, we saw Josh Ward go around and spinning, but, I mean, it happens, and maybe you can go get him next week, because I know his engine's blown. But Matt White says, forget about Josh Ward, focus on me, as green flag is out, and he is off and away.
Great restart by Stafford. Not lose any positions there.
Oh, and RJ Root lost a few positions. Looks like the same thing that happened to Matt White that run happened to him. It just seems like a theme this week and almost this whole season that these SRE guys are fast, but their cars might not handle the best at the intermediate short tracks.
It's a factor of cold tires. Try to get those tires up to temperature on the restart, and I think that's been, you know, the cause of all the issues we've seen with Murray, White, RJ,
Josh Ward, Jeremy Miller. Man, that's a lot of drivers. This race, it's been on their setup, just maybe not handling the best for them, but the guys who are able to handle it, like Matt White, are stupid fast.
Yeah, and you're You're not kidding there. Joe Stafford, though, doing a great job hanging in there with White.
Yeah, he is, and I mean, great job just sticking with it, making sure, maybe to save his tires, not sure what his thoughts are right now, but he has to get the lead before his tires start fading, like we've seen all night long. His rear grip just loses it, and that's how we've seen everybody pass him this whole night. He just loses it out of two. That's his one place he's having problems with his car.
Nice top three, staying close together. Kind of not what I expected. That's what I'm trying to say. There is Austin Story sticking with Stafford and White. They're pulling away from everybody else, and at this point, I think everybody else has damage. I think the only one that's not had any issues, I really don't want to say it because of the commentator's curse, so I'll just let you guys use imagination, because it's not these top two that have had some kind of issues. It's White, even we saw him get a little bit of loose on one of the restarts.
Oh!
Stafford in the wall.
Man, every time you mention something about the top three, one of them gets in the wall or gets loose. But man, that's gonna be tough for Joe to overcome with that right side damage.
I think these guys are gonna start a petition to make sure I'm not in the booth again for these races. But Joe, he did a great job at recovering there. Not losing a spot to Austin. Definitely think Austin Story cut Stafford a break there.
Yeah, definitely. But as I said, that was going to be hard for Joe to recover. He just ran a faster lap than our leader, Matt White. Man, it's like anybody who hits the wall with the right side is fast. Both Matt White and Joe Stafford have done it. Austin Story, take notes. Maybe you want to tap the wall.
I think Austin Story just wants to not tap the wall and hope these guys in front tap it a little bit too hard. Drive on by.
Well, that's an option, or you could go fast and tap the wall. Which one?
Guys have 60 laps to go. That's 60 miles. And anything can still happen from here on out. There's not a whole lot of cars left on track, rather. But, you know, guys like Princeton and Chris Claude sitting 7th and 8th. You know, I'm surprised that they're sitting 7th and 8th based off what we saw on, you know, to start off the race in that big accident. But I also said, if you can stay in it, got a good shot at gaining a lot of position. So those guys, they must have listened to me and when I said it earlier, and they're doing a great job having themselves a top 10 day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Chris, Ken Ron, and Jeff Carson, we don't normally see them in the top 10. Nothing against them. I'm just saying that they're more of a 15th to 20th place car, but somehow they always end up being up front and getting the top 10 finish. I mean, hey, that's almost how Chris Claude won the inaugural championship of SNN. He just he would have had a great battle with Matthew Gaskins until he pitted, and Matthew Gaskins took the wave around when Chris could have done the same, and just he didn't realize that he could have taken the wave around.
And you and I actually commentated that race, not here, but on a different channel. And Chris, he was consistent all season long, and that led him to be in that position right here. We're seeing him be consistent, trying to at least, of course, being involved in that accident, but having himself a good shot to finish 8th place if he stays where he's at.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, great run by him. But as we talk about that, our leaders are catching some lap traffic. Will that help Austin Story and Joe Stafford reel in Matt White?
It all depends on how they're. Oh man, that was a little bit scary out of Bryson Alexander. I believe he caught the wall, got a little bit sideways, kept it up there. But as I was gonna say, it all depends on how they're able to get around the lap traffic as well.
Well, I mean, with that little moment, that oh. Not sure what happened. I just saw Joe Stafford and Austin Story drop like a rock on the on the leaderboard. I don't know what it was, but definitely interesting. Now, I don't want to jinx it, but it's going to take something incredible for Matt White not to win this race. He's just too good right now.
Austin Story get around Joe Stafford for 2nd place, but yeah, Matt White, he has been the class of the field tonight, absolutely dominating this race. Had a couple of hiccups, but he's come right back up to the front, proving that he deserves to tame Miles.
Now, if we go to about lap 195 and a caution comes out, if you're Austin Story and Joe Stafford, do you risk staying out and hope Matt White can't catch up throughout the field? Because there'll be about 9 or so cars that I'd say would follow Austin Story and Joe Stafford.
Man, you only got right now 9 cars on the lead lap. Of course, we'll get one to be the lucky dog. So currently that would go to Carson. Put 10 cars on lead lap. But I don't know. If you stay out, that's a lot of laps on your tires. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's definitely would be interesting to see. But we'll just have to see as this race goes on, as we have 40 laps to go. While we're about 45-ish laps to go, let's go ahead and go to side-by-side for a little bit.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, the rocket! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the 2nd round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Davis Brothers has been providing homeowners and businesses with exceptional roofing services since 1983. From repairing roofs on small homes to installing new roofs on large commercial retailers, no job is too big or too small. Your home is an important part of your life, and your roof is an essential part of your home. We understand that. Whether you're inspecting, repairing, or replacing your roof, we'll treat your home like it's our very own. Low slope, steep slope, big or small, it doesn't matter, we do them all. And remember, we have the capabilities and the manpower to take on any size job. When it comes to your roof, it's important to be proactive. Choose an experienced roofer you can trust. At Davis Brothers Roofing, we are your experienced roofer. Contact us today for a consultation and let us earn your trust.
With the Buttkicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Buttkicker, the future is feeling.
You know that guy? The one who, just minutes before the green flag, keys up his mic and asks, "Anybody got a setup?" Well, this is him. This is Adam. And Adam needs some help. This, on the other hand, is Steve. Steve is a solid racer, and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups and to race as often as he likes. But Steve knows a secret. Steve lets our crew chiefs do the setup work so he can focus on the racing. At majorsgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 50 cars on the iRacing service, so no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Somebody really should tell Adam.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Davis Brothers Roofing Cup Series at Dover. And we got a battle heating up for the lead as Austin Story is closing fast on our leader, Matt White. We brought it out of commercial as fast as we could to bring you this action with 35 laps to go. Now that Austin has caught him, will he be able to pass him?
Yeah, catching someone is one thing, passing them is another. This track, we've seen how hard it can be to pass, but I think all he has to do is try to get his nose underneath White, make White run a little bit wide. Austin Story should be in good position to pull out in front.
Austin Story has been the fastest car on track for about the last 20 laps. Even before we went to commercial break, it just wasn't as big as it is now. He's down to 3/10. It was about 1.5 when we went to break.
Yeah, and Austin Story has had all race long to really learn his car, learn how his car is going to handle depending on how he pushes it. He's doing a great job, and I think Austin Story has used what he's learned into this run here. And Matt White may have been pushing a little bit harder than what he has, than what he had been doing earlier in the race. So we heard Matt White say earlier that he wasn't too concerned with tire wear because of the way tire wear was for him. And I'm wondering if that just kind of, I guess, pressured him into pushing it a little bit harder. But Joseph, Austin Story is there now.
Yeah, this is the closest he's been. And oh, Matt White just got plowing tight. Austin's to the bumper. Austin goes to the inside, side by side. This is between Matt White and Austin Story. Austin Story He's gonna use Dave Ringo as a pick. Oh, there's contact!
Story slid up. He got super tight there underneath the 56 of Matt White. They get around Regal. Now Nicholas Breidenbach is there. Breidenbach going to hold it to the high side. Going to allow Story to get on by. Story just needs to regroup, gather himself, get calmed down a bit there, and go right back at it. He's got 29 laps.
29 laps. It's not a long time around this. What? They're running 24-second laps around now. So, I mean, man, it's definitely getting exciting. I cannot believe that contact happened.
Think that clean air had any factor there on Austin Story's car?
No, I think that was the lap traffic and Matt White just having to pinch a little harder than he had the whole run.
I think the different lines.
Yeah,
they're running there. Go ahead, Joseph.
I was just about to say about the same thing as you were. Austin Story running a higher line than Matt White, but we're seeing Joe Stafford pit. Does that mean these guys have to pit another time this race?
Currently, White and Story have been out there for 50 laps. You're talking about 76 laps. They would have to go to the end if this thing did stay green.
That's a long time, but I think it's doable. We'll just have to see. As Austin Story still closing in on Matt White, but not as rapidly as he was before that contact.
And now he's got Ken Ron in front of him. Ken pulls to the side. Not quite clear. This is going to hurt Austin Story on corner exit.
24 laps to go now. You see them pulling out in front of Joe Stafford. If Austin Story wants a chance at the win and they cannot make it on fuel, I think he has to pit this time around, and he does. Man, he locks it up, and will he make it onto pit road? He does. Now, it's going to be between him and Matt White. Oh man, I hope he didn't speed there. Matt White has the lead. He's going to have to pit here shortly. But when will he pit? I didn't think pitting was in question.
I'll tell you what, this is the reason I'm not a crew chief, because I would have had no idea what would have happened and when these guys would have had to pit. But right now, Matt White, he is not going to benefit from this because Austin Story, he's been in pit road for a couple of laps now. Matt White's still out there. This is going to be huge for Austin Story.
Austin Story finally out of pit road. Where will he come out compared to Joe Stafford? Joe Stafford was about 6 seconds behind him. I think he's well ahead of Joe, about 4 seconds. But if Austin can get around Matt White here, that'll put him 1 lap down. So this is a completely different ballgame.
I think Matt White right now is just trying to run it out and hope that a caution comes out.
I just don't think that's going to happen with how this green flag run's gone. But maybe Matt White can make it on fuel. I doubt he can because he pitted at the same time as Austin Story and Joe Stafford. So definitely going to be interesting to see as Austin's already picked up the 5/10 that he was behind Matt White.
This is huge.
Let's see. Matt White is running 23.9s. Austin Story is running 22.9s. He's about a second faster. Matt White, I believe he's pitting this time around. He's going to come out Or no, he was just letting Joe Stafford by. When will Matt White pit?
At this point, he's got to continue to stay out and pray that that caution comes out. This strategy right here, this is going to hurt him so bad.
Maybe
He's
he
not just
missed
gonna
pit
lose the
road
lead.
there.
And if that's the case, then that would hurt him a lot too. He's still not showing signs of pitting in.
Did he save fuel or something? I don't think you can save that many laps of fuel.
With as close as these guys were running, I doubt that he saved fuel. Really much of anything.
He is clutching around the racetrack. You don't hear him get on the throttle until way late on exit, so maybe he is trying to stretch it to the end. But running 24.2s, I don't know.
Is it possible to go on board with him? Just kind of hear that engine?
Yeah, let's go on board with him here. He's clutching. He gets out of the clutch around mid-corner and gets back going. I wonder how close these guys were on fuel.
You see him in 5th gear as well. This is a 4th gear racetrack, so running in that 5th gear is going to help out with fuel as well.
I just don't see Matt White being able to make it on fuel here. Because he's running about 1.5 seconds slower than Austin Story. Let's go on board with him. And yeah, look how much more speed he's carrying through these corners. So Matt White is coming out of turn, or is down the back stretch. He's down the front stretch, so he might not catch him, but it's going to be close on fuel for Matt White. Can Matt White save enough fuel to make it to the end? That'll be the question. Was he saving early enough?
Austin Story is also still a lap down as well, so even if Story does get up to Matt White, it's only to get just a lap back and not actually pass him for the lead.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, as with 10 to go, will Matt White be able to make it? As you just hear how little throttle he's using until the back straightaways. Even then, I don't know if he's holding it full throttle.
Nine laps to go for Matt White. Tell you what, I'm nervous. I'm sure White's nervous.
Austin
I'm
Story's
sure everybody
nervous.
watching is nervous.
I think everybody's nervous for different reasons. We're nervous because we just like the battle. We want Matt White to be able to make it on fuel and save enough. And it's just crazy. As Austin's Story will not have enough laps to catch him, per se, but will Matt White have to pit? This just seems like a lot of laps of fuel to save.
Matt White is about to turn lap number 70 on this run, this set of tires here.
Yeah, and I think if he runs out, it'll be about 2, maybe 1 lap to go. So Austin Story's going to have to get around RJ Root and Alex Princeton as well. Don't think we've mentioned that quite enough. as we're just seeing Matt White clutch it. Will he be able to make it on fuel?
Matt White also has 15 seconds to play with here.
He's going down the front stretch, and there's Austin Story. So, I mean, Austin's going to get his lap back. That's for sure. But will Matt White be able to make it on fuel is the biggest question. And RJ Root and Alex Princeton, if Matt White can't make it, are out there that might be able to make it as well. Oh, is he out of fuel? Went high in the corner, running low down the straightaway. Man, that was weird. Matt White has taken the 2 to go and is coasting around the track at a slower pace than we've seen.
He is running all the way up at the wall, allowing all these cars to go by.
And taking the white flag, Matt White, if he can make it around one more time, will take the checkered flag and win at Dover.
Doesn't matter if he has enough or not. He's off turn 4. Wow. I think Princeton is out. Yeah, Princeton is out. Story's going to be able to get around Princeton.
Austin Story will come around in third. Man. Even has enough to do a burnout.
I don't know if I've ever seen a fuel strategy race like that on iRacing before. That was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. Incredible. I think I remember one at this track, though. In the Galaxy Cup Series way back in 2020. But I just got word from Austin Story. He was 8 laps short of fuel.
Wow.
How did he save 8 laps of fuel? Let's go ahead and bring in our race winner, Matt White. Hey, Matt, this is the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy. How are you?
Hey, man, that was an incredible fuel saving. How many laps short were you?
We were going there, and I was about a lap and a half short, so I had to come a lap and a half short. I had about 40 to do it, I think.
Gotcha. We were hearing from some other drivers. They were about 8 laps short when they pitted at the same time as you. You think they just didn't put as much fuel in the car as you?
Either that or, I mean, we were racing really hard there, but I was just trying to gauge the gap. So right when, I don't know his number off the top of my head, I'm really bad with names right now, but when the second place car got to me, I picked it up, and then as soon as he pitted, it was like from there on I could save however much I wanted.
Yeah, gotcha. I mean, great win. Anybody you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank Charge Racing. Got some good setups this week. Also want to thank all the organizers here, and of course thanks my sponsor awards and JNS JCB Autogram Meadow.
Well, good win. We'll let you go back to your team and celebrate. Congrats, and hope to see you next week.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Let's go to our third place finisher, Austin Story. Josh, I think you got a copy on him.
Just an incredible run there from 33rd to 3rd. You didn't have enough fuel to do it, so you had to pit there. But what was that strategy like, trying to catch up to White and hope that he ran out of gas?
It was very, very stressful. There was a lot of lap cars that made it very difficult to get by, unreasonably difficult. You know, I have my theories, but yeah, it was difficult. Had to run as hard as you can. I just didn't have enough at the end.
Now you're feeling under the weather a little bit. Did that play any factor into how you were driving the car at all tonight?
Yes, I'm about to pass out right now. So if that tells you anything, that's that.
What was it like there, trying to get around that incident that happened on lap 1 or 2, kind of starting way in the back and avoiding that?
I saw a clip on Twitter earlier this week that the same thing happened. So you know, I knew that was gonna happen. So, you know, just slam on your brakes and just pray.
All right. Well, before I let you go, who gets it done for you at 23 camp?
You know, Joseph Lester, amazing. You know, Joe Stafford over at the Propel people. You know, Joe Stafford. You know what I'm saying? You know, Nicholas Brodenbach. You know, all them guys. Kevin Rourke, J.C. Gibson. You know, Money House Graphics. You know, Money House Graphics. Go get your paints. Money House Graphics. Nolan Hodgson. You know, everyone's great people. Josh Carpenter too.
I appreciate that. But great run tonight. Congrats on the 3rd place finish, and let you go celebrate.
Thank you.
That was your third place finisher, Austin Story. Josh, I think you got a copy on RJ Root.
Hey, RJ. Good run tonight. Finished in 2nd place. Definitely had a lot of things to overcome tonight. I mean, avoiding everybody else and
avoiding myself on the backstretch.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple mistakes happened there, but you got it done. 2nd place. How'd you get it done?
I realized with 42 laps to go that I could save enough fuel to make it to the end. I had 38 laps of fuel in the tank and crossed the line with 0.3 laps of fuel left.
Wow. What was it like there? Just driving towards the end. We saw Matt White absolutely clutching it, riding in 5th gear, and not really going full throttle. What were you doing?
I was shutting the car off in the corners with the clutch held, running like at max 3/4 throttle down the straightaways. I was in a battle with Alex Princeton for a lot of it, and it was one of those. It's very hard to save fuel when you have a competitor right there with you. So it was one of those. I probably burned a little bit too much fuel trying to get back by him, but overall it was fun. It's something that I have always looked against, saving fuel to try to win races, but I wanted to give it a shot tonight, and I mean it paid off.
Were you nervous at all during that whole run that you weren't going to save enough, or did you have a good idea that you were going to make it?
I knew I could make it. It was more along the lines of if the guys that pit would catch me. That was what I was a little bit more nervous about, with having the left side damage and being so tight on fuel. I couldn't race them if they got to me, so.
All right. Well, before I let you go, is there any sponsors, team shout-outs you'd like to give?
I'd like to give a shout out to Busch Gardens Williamsburg for keeping me entertained yesterday. Edge Setup Shop, everybody at FFR. Shout out to Matt White for winning tonight. And shout out to all the other sponsors on the car.
Alrighty, well, congrats on the second place finish.
Thank you.
That was your second place finisher, RJ Root. Any last thoughts, Josh, before we go through the finishing lineup?
Oh man, I'm surprised at how this race turned out. I was not expecting a race that was as exciting as this one was. These guys, there was a lot of incidents. Of course, the big one taking place over. A little bit surprised to see that, but these guys, they kept it close really all throughout the race. So, Matt White, he dominated, but it didn't come easy.
No, it didn't. And, I mean, man, saving fuel, that was incredible by him. But let's go ahead and go through our finishing lineup. First, we got Matt White, second, RJ Root, third, Austin Story, 14th, Alex Princeton, 15th, Joe Stafford, 16th, Seba Cornez, 17th, Bob Nestor, 8th. First, Matt White, second, RJ Root, third, Austin Story, 4th, Alex Princeton, 5th, Joe Stafford, 6th, Seba Cornez, 7th, Bob Nestor, 8th, Jeff Carson, 9th, Chris Clodd, 10th, Bryson Alexander, 11th, Ken Ron, 12th, Kavaja Holt, 13th, Randy Spivey, 14th, Marty Roberts, 15th, Ryan Decker. Josh, you?
16th is going to be Charles Eaton. 17th, William Fink. 18th is going to be... sorry, I'm seeing a little bit of a difference than what you're seeing.
18th will be Christian Stewart, 19th, Josh Ward, 20th, JB Banner, 21st, Brandon Kluge, 22nd, Nick Breidenbach, 23rd, Dave Regal, 24th, Brian Tarnowski, 25th, Dalton Mobley, 26th, Dakota Cave, 27th, Lauren Jones, 28th, Alex Murray, not the best of runs today, usually up there competing for the win, 29th, Kevin Rourke, 30th, Nolan Hodgson, 31st, Jarrett Small, 32nd, Jeremy Miller, 33rd, Ryan Samuelson, 34th, Chad Sander, and 35th, Jarrett Phillips. That'll round out your field. I'd just like to thank our sponsors, Jones Racing Setups for SRM. I'd like to thank Davis Brothers Roofing for SNN's broadcast, or to help provide the money for the broadcast. But man, incredible.